Shovelheads and Ironheads are legendary, but let's be honest, these old carbs can be a headache. And today I'm showing you how to upgrade your ride with a $55 CV Carb setup that's simple, effective, and makes these classics run better than ever. So stick around and you'll see why this one is the best upgrade for your old shovel or ironhead that you can make. You have got a shovel head or an iron head. What I'm going to show you today is going to work on either one of those models, no problem. And the upgrade is worth doing. So this is what I found though you don't have to do what I did and make a bunch of parts. This is a $12 part, a flange that I got on eBay. And what this is going to do is allow me to mount this to the carburetor and then bolt it directly to the stock intake manifold on both shovel heads and iron heads. So this makes life a whole lot easier. I'm going to show you how to do that today. Of course, we're going to use my favorite CV Carb, the $43 Kipa Carb. There's a Kipa, K-I-P-A, and it comes with all kinds of stuff you don't need. $55 is this carburetor and this flange. $15 for a new choke cable, and we're going to definitely use this. And I bought this cap, which is a choke level relocation. The intention is to put the original air cleaner back on this because I like that classic look and I have it. So that's what we're going to do. Next thing, we're going to press this on this. All right, so we've got the carburetor, and I don't know if you can see right here, there's a line right in the middle where that was molded. And what we're gonna do is use that line right there and line up with this hole right here. We don't have to mark it or anything. We can just look at it, make sure it's in the right spot, and then press it right on. We press too hard. If we go past the point where it's pressed on, we're gonna break either this, which is no big deal, or this, which is more of a big deal. It's still not that big a deal because this is $43 and that's $12. My little press here costs $79 on sale at Harbor Freight. So it doesn't get any cheaper than that. You could use a bench vise, but the problems with a bench vise is are you pressing straight on either side is the reason I'm not using one. So I would recommend this type of press. In the top here, I'm using the mold line to line up with the hole in the flange. Idea on. That's what I'm looking for. See it going down? We're gonna go down to this little lip right there, I think. I'm gonna stop. I think we're done. So this is a super light piece of, molded or aluminum, so I really want to go a little at a time and not overdo it. And that did it. It's pressed on tight now. You can see it right there. We'll move over to the table and we'll finish this thing up. The flange is pressed on. One thing I noticed right here is the molding right here of the casting is right in the back of that bolt hole that holds it on. So when you put this top bolt in and bolt it to the intake, it cannot extend beyond the back of this flange. So it might need a couple washers, to make sure that that's not going to happen, okay? Just pay attention to that when you bolt it on. The other thing is these little dinky O-rings that go down in here, which eliminate the need for a gasket, but boy, they don't like to stay in there. So the way that I was able to do it is you kind of stretch them like a rubber band. We'll see if that'll stay in there while we work. First, let's remove the top cap and put this on in place of it. So let me tell you, I think that this is probably the best upgrade you can make on one of these old Harleys, one of these shovel heads or iron heads, because the old carbs are good, but they're not great. That's just facts. okay? They're good, but they're not great. And the upgrade that they made when they went to these CV Carbs, they're just better. I mean, they're better, they're easier to tune, they get better fuel mileage, they start better, they warm up, you know, with less hiccups and, you know, backfires and all that stuff. The CV carburetor of this gen was a much better setup than the butterfly carburetor of whatever type that they had on Shovelheads or Ironheads. That's my personal opinion, and I don't think I'm alone in that. Okay, so this is your CV slide here. See, you need to make sure that this diaphragm stays down in the ring. This is the spring that resists the slide going up. So we take this new one, all right, and we go right here. Make sure the spring goes in the top, and then make sure the diaphragm is in place. And go ahead with 2 of these. Will hold it while you're working on the others. Now this top is, I think it was $23 from eBay. So in the description, so again, we got, you know, 20 things we got to do here at once. I think this will slip right in here. And then this goes on here. This goes in there. This one goes here. And that is the choke holder relocation kit. So next is the choke cable. So remove this, I don't know, just like a plug here. There's a spring here. This is just the way they come, okay? And then you take that out. Now you can see you don't want to just throw this stuff away, right? Because this stuff will work, I think, on any CV carb. So we'll keep this stuff, right? Now this goes in there. Make sure it seats all the way. And you can just swivel this around easily enough. Now this is just plastic, and it's not real strong plastic. So it doesn't need much more than you can do with your fingers. You might want to get something in there, just tweak it just a touch. Just goes right in here. This weird looking washer goes to the bottom, and there's a flat spot here that's got to go in here. It's kind of a hard tweak, but it'll go. Now all this stuff is easily breakable, so be kind of gentle with it, okay? And that, then, when you've got that mounted on the bike, your choke is right there. Simple as that. So now let's check the jets. I believe there is a 170, which I would recommend on a stock 1000cc. It's probably where it's what I have on there, and it seems to be working pretty well. Stock 1000cc. If you're putting this on a shovel head, right, 74 cubic inches, 170 and 44, I think is what's in here, is going to be, for me, a little light. So when I'm setting up carburetor, I'd rather be a touch rich than a touch lean, and then come back to lean. That's just the way I set them up. I seem to have better luck though, okay? And I don't have to worry about overheating stuff, running stuff really lean. Okay, so there's that. Nice and clean, nothing inside it. What do we got here? See it? Can't see it, can you? No, it's okay. It's a 170. And then we'll go in here, right here, and we'll take this one out, the little jet, and it is a 45. You know what? I think you're really good at 170 and 45 on an old Ironhead. I think if I was going to set up a shovel head, I'd probably go next higher, 180, and 48 might be a little much. You can always back off if things seem like they're too rich. I think I'd probably go 140, and whatever the next highest one in here was, what, 46? I think it was, whatever they give you. So that's great. We're ready here. Let's check this. We want full compression right here, right? That's real good. And you see it's level when it's completely set the pin, and it's got a little spring in the pin, but that needle is completely set at level. So this looks real good. Next we'll put the idle air mixture screw in it. All right, last thing on the carb to get it set up is I like to use these, finger adjustable mixture screws for the idle air. Comes with 4 parts, little spring, little copper washer, and a little bitty O-ring. Now, when you do this, if you're careful, if everything falls out, you better look and see the way that it's in there, okay? But what I find on these new carbs, our new Chinese carburetor, is that if I take this out carefully, I can just take out the spring and the adjuster, and then I just put this spring and this adjuster back in, and I don't have to disturb the brand new washer and O-ring. Makes it simple. Screw that all the way down, okay? Now, 1, 2, 3 1/4. 1 3/4. That's where I start. Probably back out to 2 if it's not idling real smooth and not giving me any trouble. That carb is completely set up. That's how you set up a CV carb for any bike you're gonna put it on. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take that assembly that I built off, take the carburetor off, and get ready to reinstall this carburetor. Okay, so now the freshly set up carb with the new flange pressed on. So now I'll put that back on this bike. So here's the original carburetor, the original butterfly key-in carburetor. You can see it says Harley Davidson on it. And I think it still worked, but I really prefer the CV carburetor all around. Smoother, starts better, has better fuel mileage, it mixes the fuel better, it's got better throttle response. So I would like to try to put the original air cleaner on this carburetor. So we'll take this apart, and what we're gonna have to probably do here is, it's not gonna work. I mean, you wanna talk about some major reinvention here. See if you can get over here to this side. So this is in the way. I can't get the base down to here. So for me to use this original air cleaner, I'll have to make a new backing plate that fits this carb. And I'm gonna have to think about that for a while, because without this, see this right here? See, this has this CV top. Well, this sits down inside here, which allows the air cleaner to be back towards the engine more. And if I mount it flush, then we're gonna be like sticking out like that. And I mean, come on, your knee's gonna be riding on the outside of this when you're riding down the road. So it was a great idea. It's not gonna happen. Simple as that. We've put this on here. I'll get everything back together as we put this iron head back together. You should watch the video when I get this painted, reassembled, and running. I'm certain this will work just fine the way it's set up. It's set up the same way that the other carburetor was set up. So there you go. That's the nuts and bolts of putting the flange on a CV carburetor and converting it to your iron head and or shovel head, okay? I'll see you next time on Vintage Harley Revive.